is bigger than 9/11 or Pearl Harbor or anything we've ever seen before. The crisis is in your head. I've had pneumonia 3 times. I've had malaria. I've had open heart surgery. I've had cancer. Now, that's the bad news. You know what the good news is? I'm aware I had to become healthier. I don't want some vaccine to protect me. It's my responsibility to protect myself. You can change the crisis by changing what's inside your head. And so I hate to brag, but I'm doing extremely well financially today, because as I was warning everybody, this crisis was coming. But it would be irresponsible of me to warn people of the crisis and not personally make changes myself. The question is, how healthy are you? So I could be a victim right now saying, I have heart disease, diabetes, I'm overweight, I've had pneumonia 3 times, I've had malaria, and all that did was inspire me to be healthier. And so let me give you my definition of health. Health is mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and then physical health. So I spend a lot of money and time on my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, and my physical health. And the average person goes to their doctor once a year for an annual checkup. That's not health, that's called medicine. So this is my biggest complaint, is that who determines our medicine is the insurance companies, some of the biggest financial institutions in the world. So the average person, because they have no wealth, can't afford my health care. They can't afford my, the physician I see is $5,000 a visit. And if you have health insurance, they won't see you. So that's health care and wealth care. So if you're still thinking your physician is going to save you, that's old thinking. If you think that you spiritually can do what you don't like, that's old thinking. Job security and all that's old thinking. If you think you can just, if physical exercise for you is shopping, you're out of luck. And mental health is crucial. What thoughts do you have in your head? If you think this is a bad time, guess what? You're right, it's bad. But if you think this is possibly the best time for you, you can move forward. So those of you at home right now who are sitting going, but I'm going to lose my job, my house, my pension, and all this, it's because you're trapped with old thoughts. And as most people know, is that, when I came up with Rich Dad, Poor Dad 20-something years ago, mainstream media crucified me. They said, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, the rich don't work for money. Savers are losers. Your house is not an asset. And I was crucified. Well, what did I know back in '83? Was we had no financial education in our schools. Why? And my poor dad was a PhD. And the problem with PhDs and academics, as you know, they hide behind this piece of paper called a diploma. It doesn't mean they know anything. So my poor dad and many of the academics running, the Fed and the Treasury and our government are academics hiding behind diplomas, but they don't have a financial statement. You see, Rich Dad had a financial statement. My poor dad had a diploma. They're 2 different pieces of paper symbolizing 2 different states. So a diploma is BS. Mine stands for Bachelor of Science. So a financial statement, income, expense, assets, liabilities, statement of cash flow, which is what Rich Dad, Poor Dad's about. If you lie on that, you go to jail. So when I go to my banker and somebody says, well, I can't get a loan, the reason they can't get a loan is because they don't have a financial statement. Your financial statement is your report card. 99% of all kids, and that includes MBAs and all that, leave school not realizing the most important piece of paper is not their diploma, but a financial statement. So you look at the richest people on earth today, they didn't graduate from school. We need financial education, because the real problem of this crisis started back in 1904 when the richest guys on earth took over the education system of the United States. They formed a thing called the General Education Board. It was formed by guys like Rockefeller and J.P. Morgan. And what they pulled out of education was financial education. And so the reason they could rip us off, as you and I know, is via the mechanism of money. I'm making more money than ever before. I have problems, but I'm making more money than ever before. But if you're losing money right now, the problem starts in what you were taught in school. Because they never taught you anything about money. They never taught you about a financial statement, like my rich dad did. They teach you that diploma is everything. It's a piece of toilet paper. The prison is inside our head, Buckminster Fuller. It starts with misinformation and misorientation. Misinformation, misorientation. And he says, how dare our schools punish kids for making mistakes? How else do you learn if you don't make a mistake and learn from your mistake? He says, God designed us to learn by making mistakes. For instance, a baby learns to walk by falling down, but our schools punish you for making mistakes. That's misorientation, misinformation. Yeah, and the harder you work for money, the poorer you're going to get. That's the tragedy.